So good morning again, and welcome everybody to this session on study abroad. So study abroad is a great opportunity, and it's something that many of you may have heard about in your first year. It's something that you may have heard about when you originally were looking at universities. A lot of universities offer students the opportunity to study abroad, either as part of their programme or in addition to their programme. So at present we have multiple different options to encourage people to study abroad that integrate with your programmes in different ways, and depending on exactly what subject you're studying, some of these might be more useful and applicable to you than others. In particular though, study abroad is an opportunity to add some more adventure to your degree experience. Okay? While as an academic I am recommending it to you particularly because it really helps you develop your skills, it helps you develop your understanding of international issues, it helps you develop your understanding of people from different cultures, and it helps you get a new and invigorated perspective on your subject matter. I also appreciate it. It's really a lot of fun. Okay, it's really an opportunity for you to go on a jaunt, whether it's just across a short stretch of water from our little island here in the United Kingdom, or whether you're getting on a plane and flying completely round to the other side of the world. It is an opportunity for you to really spread your wings at very little cost to yourself or to your degree, and to experience all kinds of exciting opportunities, whether that's camping in the Australian outback, hiking across Spain, or simply just having some great beach time and hitting the surf as well as studying. Yeah. So as I go through and as I sound and drone on with my boring academic terms, please don't lose sight of that particular aspect that is available to you through study abroad. So what opportunities are there for study abroad? There are three main streams of opportunity that we offer. The first is a semester abroad during your second year. Now obviously for those of you who are just coming into the first semester of your second year, the idea of going abroad in a very few months' time is a little bit problematic because it would involve an awful lot of extra legwork between now and then to make it happen. However, it is still a possibility, so I am going to cover the material, and it is particularly appropriate to first years. The next opportunity is the international year. So the international year extends your degree, and it's a year abroad between the completion of your second year of studies with us and resuming your third year of studies with us. So I'll go into that in more detail and what that involves when I get to that part of the presentation. And finally, we have a variety of opportunities on a fairly ad hoc basis to participate in summer schools, international placements, which you really just need to watch out for in terms of your email, because these opportunities come up often at very short notice. Okay, and I'll talk you through some of the opportunities that we've been offering recently. Can I just ask, did anybody as a first year go on the International Business Summer School at all? No? Nobody here go on that? Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about that just to give you a flavour of how the summer schools work and how that can also be used to enhance your degree experience. So to start off with, I thought we would start with the international year, because for most of you at this stage in your degree, this would be the best opportunity and the best pathway that we currently have available for you. So all of Keele Management School programmes are available as part of a 4-year degree with a year abroad at a partner university. So if you were looking to enrol on this, what happens is you go through the application process, which I'll explain shortly, and then when you return from the year abroad, your degree title gets changed. Okay? You actually amend your degree title. So say, for example, you were doing single honours management. Instead of getting your degree title at the end of your studies with us, BA Hons Management, it would be BA Hons Management with International Year. So it's directly there on your certificate in your degree title. The experience strongly enhances your degree because it enhances your knowledge and it develops your experience. It's specifically designed to have no risk to your overall degree outcome, your degree grade, and to be kind to your wallet. And that's basically because the fees are reduced substantially for the international year. It is a tiny percentage of what you pay for your regular fees. And in addition to that, the year is pass-fail. So this is specifically developed in this way because we want you to have the opportunity to go abroad and study something that might take you out of your comfort zone a little bit, to experiment, to explore in topics that are related to your main subject but which might not be directly the same as your main subject. So we'll be having a lady come at the end of the session, excuse me, who'll be able to tell you a little bit about her experience. She's just come back from the international year. And she spent her time studying in both Canada and in Sweden. So the international year doesn't mean that you have to spend an entire year just in one country or one institution. You can actually split it by semester. So you can spend one semester at one university that we have a partnership with, and your second semester at another university that we have a partnership with. So it's very flexible in that regard. And our students who've gone and done the international year have studied subjects such as property management. They've studied subjects such as photography for advertising. So these are subjects which we have recognised as being related to business management or related to marketing and other aspects of their degree, but they're certainly subjects that perhaps you wouldn't have the opportunity to study here at Keele, so it's a real enhancement to your degree experience. All Keele Management School students are eligible to go on the international year, but we do advise a little bit of caution if you're an international student because there's a little bit more paperwork with respect to your visa, and that can be a little bit stressful and sometimes incur small additional fees. But the people in our global education team are very happy to provide advice and support through that entire process. For students studying dual honours combinations with another faculty, again, we advise a little caution, but frankly, compared to the semester abroad, the international year offers a huge amount more flexibility rather than the semester abroad, and most subject combinations are able to support it. So why go on programs like this? Why extend your degree by an additional year? Some of you are thinking, oh, but I've passed the cusp now, I'm thinking downhill. I want to get my degree, I want to get out of here, I want to be out in the job market, earning, being successful, being an amazing person, and I don't really want to spend more time in education. That might be your view. However, there are many, many advantages to doing study abroad or having an internationalised experience as part of your programme. And these include personal development, enhancing your work experience and your CV from your career point of view, academic development, and also, as I said at the beginning, fun and adventure. Okay? So in terms of your personal development, there are lots of opportunities to broaden your communication skills, to develop independence and confidence in different environments, learn about different cultures firsthand. Can I do a quick survey? How many of you here would describe yourself as a traveller? Would you say you've travelled internationally? Okay, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people? Not very many. If you look around, oh, I missed somebody up in the gallery there. 7 people. Not very many when you consider how many people are here today, right? So all of these opportunities are also things that can seem a little bit intimidating at first, yeah? From the first steps of going, oh God, I need to fill out all of these application forms, to actually packing your bags and getting on the plane and thinking, you know, I'm not actually going to come home for 3 months, 6 months. You might even decide you're not going to have any stops back home for the entire year abroad. But it's also an amazing, amazing experience. Because what you learn in terms of your independence from doing that, it's really like the parable of a little bird being kicked out the nest, okay? Be brave and step out of your comfort zone And when you come back, you'll not just have all of these great new skills that you can put on your CV, but actually you'll have like a special glow about you. And I promise you that if you go to the education fair, which is later, it's in October, you'll meet lots of our students who've been on the study abroad experience, and they come back and they're massively confident, and they know what they're doing, and they know how to cope in an environment where they're not really sure what they're supposed to do and where they're supposed to go, or they don't speak the language, simply because they've been through it, and it's been such a great learning experience from them, completely aside from the academic content that they've studied. Okay? So it really enhances your understanding of difference, and it expands your network of friends, because you'll be in contact with people that you've met who are also study abroad students. For example, we have students that go abroad to America, and while they're in America, they meet other study abroad students that have got there from all over the world. So they keep in touch with those people through the medium of Skype and Facebook and social media of all varieties. It's much, much easier to do that now. And those are great people, not just in terms of your friendship networks and having great holidays in the future, but also people who, when you're in your career, you can get in touch with, you can network with, and they can really help you in many, many ways in the future. So that leads us on to the issue of career and work experience. Some of our partners, our international partners, actually have embedded placement opportunities. So particularly some of our partners in Europe, you can go abroad to study, but as part of those studies, you will actually also gain work experience, which obviously is another enhancement to your CV. It helps you develop knowledge of different international career paths, and it helps you stand out to employers. To move on to the academic development part, something that we have found out is that statistically, not just at Keele, but across all universities in the UK, students who go on a study abroad programme actually get better degrees when they come back. Now, whether that's simply because they've had the extra time to develop, or whether it's because of the study abroad experience, the jury's still out on that. But it's my personal view that it's down to the study abroad experience. In terms of the international year and going on the different summer schools that we have available, this gives you the opportunity to study a complementary enhancement to your programme. So this includes things like e-business or international banking, things like public administration. If that's an area that you want to go into after your degree, why not study it in Strasbourg? Why not study it in Canada or Australia? Yeah? At a very, very small cost. It's a really great way of enhancing your CV, but also developing your own knowledge and expertise. You can add free electives in your areas of interest the same way that you would when you're here at Keele, and you can approach your subject from a different context. So, particularly on the international year, you sit down and you develop your learning agreement with your subject tutor. And this is really an opportunity for you to just go through the list of all the possibilities that you could study at our international partner. Sit down with your subject tutor and say, you know what? I want to study yoga. Okay? Because just like here, there is a percentage of your degree when you're studying abroad that you can build completely from free choices that is not necessarily directly related to your subject. So you can really use it as an opportunity to enhance yourself and enhance your expertise in your subject area, but also to develop and draw and learn about new areas. I will admit that when my students go abroad and they send me back their portfolios, most of what they send me back isn't the academic work. Most of what they send me back is, look at this amazing selfie of me with all of my new friends going on a great expedition to this famous monument. Look at me swimming at the beach. Look at me with this car we bought on Craigslist, which we've now discovered has broken down in the middle of the outback. But it's totally fine because we've managed to find somebody who can help us fix it and get back home. Alright? All of these things that they send me are much more frequently a record of their adventures rather than they are a record of what it is they're studying. Okay? And let's face it, that's a very large part of the appeal of going on the study abroad experience. You can enjoy specialist sports, you can choose particular partners to go and study with who are really strong in a particular area. That might be something that's very attractive to you. You can identify future work opportunities, and you can just make friends and have fun. So there's lots of reasons why. Lots of our partners offer semester abroad, but it's a more restricted list than those who are available for the international year. The international year offers more opportunities to study places where it isn't possible to easily match modules. And we've got partners in Japan and Asia, Australia, South Africa, Europe, Canada, and the USA. We have a very, very wide range of partners. For most students, the application process starts in the first year. However, this year we have a wide number of positions still available for students who want to go abroad in the international year next year, or even for semester 2. So if this is something which interests you, make a quick note, drop me an email, or contact one of the subject tutors who's listed at the end of this presentation. There'll be a little bit of a rush to get your application done, in, assessed and through, but it is completely not off the table. You can go abroad in just a few months' time. So both the semester abroad and the international year follow the same pattern. To start with, you register your interest. Now to do that, you can meet with the Global Education team. They're in the IC2 building, which is up the hill from the Darwin building, if you've ever been up that way. Who knows where the IC2 building is? Anyone? Couple of people? Okay, so there you go, you're the tour guides for everybody else. You basically just head up the hill towards the main roundabout, and it's the third building on your right. Okay? However, if you don't fancy the walk, the Global Education team also have a lot of drop-in sessions that they run in Chancellor's Building. You can make an appointment to see a peer advisor, or you can attend the fair on October the 18th, which is between 2 and 6 p.m. here in Chancellor's Building. Okay? The second stage is that you have an interview with your subject tutor, or you see a peer advisor to talk through the application process, just exactly what information you're going to have to put your hands on, bring it together, and if you are looking to go abroad in semester 2 this year, you would want to speak specifically with the Global Education team about which of our partner universities have spaces available. You agree on what goes into your application. Your application is reviewed and approved by your subject tutor, and you also agree a proposed programme of study with the subject tutor. Now, for semester abroad, you have to study the same materials when you're at our partner as you would if you were here. So that requires quite a bit of research on your part and quite a lot of communication with your subject tutor. If you're going on the international year, you have a lot more free rein. It still requires you to do a bit of research into what's available at the different partner universities, but it is much less likely that the subject tutor is going to turn around and say, no, you can't go there, they don't offer enough of your subject. Now, I do at this point want to highlight that if you are studying HRM, if you're studying accounting and finance, you will wish to consider the implications for your accreditation or your exemptions, okay? And you should speak to your subject tutor about that and how you can best get the most out of your degree programme without losing out on those accreditations or exemptions. Usually you enrol on communicating across cultures, which is an elective module, or you attend specific workshops to help you prepare for the practicalities of study abroad. This includes things like learning about how to deal with people from different cultures, learning about how to deal with if you feel homesick, also learning how to do all kinds of boring stuff like book flights, and make plans for your travel. You need to identify your action plan if you're going in the international year, and or your learning agreement, which is specific to the semester abroad, but also to the international year. While you are abroad, you have to keep a diary or keep a record of your learning. Now, this might be as simple as just keeping all of your notes from the sessions that you go to and keeping a copy of all of your assessments, or it might also involve reflective writing. With the international year, you do have to produce a portfolio, and that includes some reflective writing components. So you write those small number of reflections, you make sure that you pass your modules at the partner university, and you submit your full portfolio on your return. Your full portfolio is then assessed, so if you're on semester abroad, your marks will be converted to the Keele grading system, because every one of our international partners uses a different grading system to the one that Keele uses, so we have to go through a conversion process. If you are on the international year, your portfolio is evaluated as to whether it's a pass or a fail, and then you return to your studies here at Keele in the usual way. A little note about summer programmes. So, summer programmes are subject to interest and availability. We can't run them unless we have something between 12 and 30 students who want to go on them, and we have to arrange them with our partner. So summer schools that run frequently include the language summer schools that are run by the language department, and also we frequently run an international business summer school. Now, thus far this is focused on first years, but we may possibly have opportunities for second years if there's the demand for it. Certainly our partners are happy and willing to oblige us and offer summer school opportunities, but it needs to come from you. You need to contact us so that we know that you're interested. So the example of the International Business Summer Programme is that it takes place in early June after the end of the Keele semester, and in that case we had places for up to 22 students, focusing on first year international business. We then opened this to other programmes, provided the spaces were available because it was offered to the international business students first. Students spent a week in Germany, south of Stuttgart, and there was a small fee which was subsidised by Keele Management School. Activities included classes with German students, so there were opportunities to develop those communication skills that I mentioned earlier. There were visits to local companies, there was an extensive social programme, and there was also a visit to the European Parliament. I have seen some of the photographs. I'm sure there are many more photographs that they did not want to share with the academic staff of people having a great time. And this was, like the summer programmes usually are, this was a programme where everybody travelled together and an academic member of staff was also present and travelling with you. So that's more like a school trip in that sense, yeah? So it's very condensed and it's very focused. However, summer school programmes are usually very good for getting an additional qualification. So as well as getting your degree, this is on top. So depending on which partner you're going to, you might be able to get additional certificates and additional qualifications that would be important for you on your CV. These opportunities, as I mentioned at the beginning, are opportunities that come about from time to time. Yeah? So in the first instance, if you're interested in doing something like this, get in touch with us. And in the second instance, just keep an eye on your email account. If we have opportunities coming up, if there are summer schools that are already running, like the one for the first year international business students, and we have extra places, we may be able to open those places to other students to participate. So what's the catch? Alright, this sounds pretty good thus far. You might be thinking, there's no such thing as a free lunch. These things usually have a cost or some kind of downside. What is it? So the international year semester abroad, there's no catch. There's no catch. If you go on semester abroad, it makes no difference to your fees. You're eligible for all kinds of financial benefits, depending on where you're going and which partner you're signed up to help you with the travel costs, visas, applications, that kind of thing. And if you're going on the international year, the fees, as I mentioned, are substantially lower. The spaces are competitive, but frankly, for students here, you're also amazing that the competition is no real competition, okay? It's really easy for our students to find places abroad. Everybody's offering teaching in English nowadays, except, well, obviously if you're going on a language program, there may be teaching in the language because that's part of what you're going for. Travel and maintenance grants are available for, like I say, mainly Europe and Japan, because that's where the funding comes from. Keele also has a large number of widening participation bursaries, and basically people just want to throw money at you to go and have a great time. What's wrong with that, okay? You might have to write a little letter but afterwards saying thanks for the cash. Studying credits at some partners may offer extra qualifications or certification exemptions. So while your studies here might offer you opportunities for accreditation, the same could be true at studies at our international partners. So it's worth having a sit-down conversation with one of the subject tutors or with our global education office about that. Some of our partners will even give you an extra degree. How's that? Buy one, get one free. 2 degrees for the price of one, eh? Right? So it's really something that you can think about. The student finance arrangements that most people will be on are extendable, so moving from a 3-year programme to a 4-year programme doesn't have any particular problems there. And as I said before, that's just a point to mention if you're an international student. If you're on a visa that's specific to a 3-year programme, there may be extra paperwork and complications. So there's a tiny bit of a catch. Basically the catch is you have to do some paperwork. The summer schools, again. So with the summer schools there can be an extra fee for participating. It's usually not very much. The opportunities vary and the funding support varies. Again, every opportunity is different, so it's worth speaking to the study abroad team, it's worth speaking to myself and other subject tutors about what's out there and what's available. To give you an idea, sometimes these summer schools, the fee can be as little to participate as £100. Okay, so we're not talking huge amounts of money. Sometimes they are much more expensive, but it just depends on what's available and who it's being subsidised by. This is the all-important subject tutor list, okay? It's often hard to find this information, so I thought I'd put it right on the final slide here. If you want to go on the semester abroad and you're a dual honours student, you must communicate and meet with your subject tutors from both subjects, okay? So Tracy, who'll give a wave, is over there, all right, from accounting. Tracy will happily sign what accounting students need to do when they go abroad, but she's not authorised to sign on what international business students do when they're abroad. So you do have to come and see both of us. Equally, Gia, Gabrielle, Orestes are all people that you need to speak to if those are your subjects. If your combination subject is outside of the school, contact me or contact a member of the study abroad team such as Alyssa, who's the manager, and they'll be able to get back to you with a full list specifying who's the subject tutor for your other subject. Okay? So it's really easy peasy. I really hope that you do consider study abroad as an opportunity for you, and I really want to thank you for coming along today. We have a peer advisor here who's going to be available to answer any questions you may have, and she's very experienced in travelling abroad and the study abroad experience, and has just come back from fabulous escapades elsewhere in the world. I'll